Hey everyone, how are you? Um, Over here I'm pretty good. I've been traveling all day, so I'm a little tired. I've been, doing a lot of stuff, but I'm good. It's a little cold, and actually, if you are a patron, then you are actually able to watch this and not just listen. So you're getting all my fashions, all my looks I'm serving today. No, I'm not. Let me not try to bamboozle you into like buying a subscription or anything. No, I'm just cold and I'm wearing this kind of stuff that you wear when you are cold. So, I'm still not comfortable with the camera or the mic or anything, but I wanted to try something new or something different because all of this is new. But I wanted to try something different and maybe record and record a video instead of recording a just the audio. And hopefully that would sound more natural, but I can't stop looking in the like the image here. It's very strange, but again, we're learning and we're gonna get through this. So hey. Next week, I will be in Atlanta. Um, I have my plane ticket, I have my hotel booked, but my passport expired 3 weeks ago. Yeah, that happened. Um, but I'm on that. I'm working on that. I already have an appointment on Monday. So I will get that fixed. I will get an emergency passport and I will be able to travel. Like I need to be there. There's a lot. Um I have to see my friends. Um and I also have, work and things to do over there. Um I just can't miss it. So we'll take care of that and I'll keep you posted. You'll see some stories and stuff, but I'm a little stressed out because this is ridiculous. This is the first time ever that happens to me. Um, it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But hey, it's happening, and I'm taking care of it. And I know I'm manifesting this. I will be in Atlanta next Thursday. You can count on that. Y'all know something? I just had dinner. I just had some amazing chicken wings, Cajun chicken wings. And I know they put crack in that chicken. I know that they season it with the crack and all the other stuff that you're not supposed to put in chicken, but that makes the chicken good and juicy and just addictive. That's the kind of chicken I had. And I have some more. I bought some extra. I paid extra to double my order. I know, but that chicken is good, y'all. Anyway, um, I'm back home in Paris, and all I could think about actually, like on the road, it was the chicken. I knew I was gonna have that chicken. Let me stop. Let me stop. I just can't wait to have that chicken. No, I said I would stop. Okay, let me actually stop. Today we're gonna talk about the word cis, CIS. How you doing, cis? Um, and all the foolishness, the foolishness around that word. Did I tell you that this show is sponsored by me? and my patrons on Patreon. Yeah, it's the simplest way to support your creators. With me, it starts at $2 a month. $2, baby. And yeah, you can, just give me a bottle of water per month. $2. Or give me tea, coffee, something. $5. Or you have a $10 tier, where we get a once a month video chat session. So y'all can come and we can, chat, discuss. You can ask questions. And from, I believe it's tier 5, like $5, you can vote on future topics. And there's also, I'm trying to put some extra stuff that's not listed so I can surprise people. Just like with this, I was gonna say this video, but it's only a video for you if you are a patron. And I think it will be at $5 and more. And yeah, join me there, support me, and help me make this a regular thing. I would absolutely love that. Thank you. I want to give a big shout out to my sis Tambi for being my first patron and for her wonderful contribution. Thank you so much. Girl, boy, or sibling, person. In the last episode, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Lily. Hey, how you doing? I am. Okay, I was gonna say I'm your auntie, but that is already taken. I'm still sort of the auntie though. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm giving auntie vibes. I'm welcoming you, I'm talking to you, and I'm caring about you. In my French Caribbean way, I am a black woman, obviously. Obviously, if you have the video. But I am a black woman, I am a black trans woman, and I live in Paris. I was born in the Caribbean. I'm not gonna repeat that all the time. But yes, baby, I am from the Caribbean. Okay. Yeah. And this is my podcast, Femme Trans Noire. Femme, trans, and noir. Black trans woman. Get into it. Let's get into the actual topic, which is, like I said, cis people and the foolishness. I'm sure you've seen these TikTok videos and these or you've heard about, like on all kinds of social media stuff, people talking about, don't call me cis. That's the cis slur and all kinds of stupid shit. Like, you've probably heard of it. I know this is, for people who know, this is 101, really. Pretty much like the discussion last week about disclosure. This one is still like basic and low level, but I want to start with these discussions so we can get some of that stuff out of the way, and so we can talk about some other stuff that's a little more, I was going to say more important. That's not really the word because the basics are important too. But some stuff that's more elevated or that's a little deeper, that has more, that means more for us, for our lives as trans people. So yeah, let's start with the basic. So if you're not new to this, you've heard what it means, right? Because people are like, yeah, it means nothing. It's new. What is cis? What is trans? Well, trans, everybody knows what trans is, but cis is just the opposite. Okay? If you are, again, new to this, cis means on the same side as, when trans means on the other side, or there's a direction here. that comes from chemistry. It's just a prefix. It's just a prefix, just like transgender, transnational, transracial. No, that's not a thing. Racial de Lazare. No. Um, yeah, but you know what I mean. So cis is just one of those prefixes that adds meaning to a word. And when we're talking about cisgender people, we're talking about people who stayed on the same side. So who were identified a certain gender at birth based on based on their sex, and they remain there. That gender is what they identify as today. And I'm not gonna do you the insult of even explaining what trans means. But yes, it's just the opposite. So we don't need to try and find extra meaning, try to infer, like imply that there is something nefarious or weird or strange, or it's nothing political, it's nothing, there is no intention behind it. It's just a descriptor, right? It's not going further than that, right? I hope that's clear, because I'm sure I'm gonna hear some people say, hey, well, but as a natural born, like, yeah, maybe I'm probably still gonna hear that, but hopefully that was clear for the people who actually didn't know at all and who actually want to know. And we're gonna get into that, because that's also a major factor, like whether or not you want to know, whether or not you want to learn, whether or not you are interested in doing better. Simply that, doing better. If you're not interested in doing better, then okay. I heard someone say that cis people think that they have gender and everybody else has gender identity. And I like that. That's the kind of position people take when they are the majority, or they are the ones that are seen as normal, or that are in a position of power and privilege, right? They tend to see themselves as central, as the reference point, and everyone else is perceived as a deviation from that, from them, the norm, right? And I found that to be very, very, very interesting. That's the position of someone who does not examine their gender, who does not examine what it means to be cis or to not be cis. That's a position where it's a position of laziness, really. Is what I want to say. And the reason I say it's laziness is because I I often hear people who reject the word cis, not wanting to simply reframe their thinking. They just don't want anything new to pop up in their lives. They're just comfortable, or they're barely comfortable with things as they are, and they don't want to add another word. They don't want to add another. They don't want to add more knowledge. It seems. Maybe that's a caricature. I don't know. But that's what it looks like from the outside. They don't want anything new because it will disturb their thinking. It will disturb the way they see the world. And, it might get them to question their own gender. And that's not always comfortable, because you may find things that you're not okay with, especially if you confuse gender with sexuality, and transness with gayness. Then yeah, you're in trouble. And even when people don't have some type of discomfort within themselves about their gender identity and their sexuality, because yeah, it's the kind of people who tend to put all of that together in the same bag and pretend that it's the same thing. But anyway, like, even if they don't have any type of discomfort with that, it's also still uncomfortable to have to think about how you participate in a system that oppresses others, right? You see that all the time with cishet men who don't want to think about how they participate in the patriarchy and oppress and hurt cis women or queer folks in general. You see that all the time with white people who don't want to know how they participate in the oppression of Black and brown folks, right? They don't want to know. They don't want to see it. They don't want to understand it. It's more comfortable that way, and they can keep all their privileges, right? Like, they can keep their whiteness, they can keep their privileges, and they can keep their innocence. They can keep the innocence from the knowledge. Well, that's what innocence is. It's just not knowing. They can keep the innocence from, the intricacies of how they participate in hurting other people. So I think there's some of that going on when people reject the word cis. But it's also, like I was saying earlier, that some cis people are seeing themselves as the norm, as central, as the reference point. And so they don't need a qualifier, right? The others over there, those people over there, they need a qualifier. The weirdos, the trans, yes, they need a qualifier, because they're not really, like, a trans woman is not really a woman, wink wink, right? Yeah, girl, yes, queen. Yes, sis. Oh, yes. Okay, right. But she's not really a woman. Wink wink. We know that. We know, we've seen that. The qualifier is really reserved for the deviant. Let's just say it. The norm does not need to be qualified. And I've heard that. I've actually heard people say that in various ways, because people are more or less comfortable with their own transphobia and their own bigotry, right? So they'll say it differently. I forget the exact wording. It was a woman talking about how she felt that like cis women were being pushed out of something that they had created by being called cis, by having a qualifier. And what she didn't really realize is that she was actually saying that, yeah, well, trans women are not women, and real women are just women, right? Why can't I just be a woman? And she did not she did not see herself as a bigot or a transphobe. And yet, You know, like how in the last show, I was talking about the ownership of space by cishet men. It's like cis women um, want the ownership of womanhood. Um, it's interesting that this person was saying that they were feeling like women were being left out of something they created. When did they create it? Are they the reference point? And this is a little bit controversial, but some people will argue that um, women today get their clues not from other cis women, but from women in the queer community, specifically trans women. Um, you know, when it comes to makeup tips, you know, the contouring and all of that other stuff. Um, yeah, it's not like who's the reference point, and I don't want to get into this idea that, oh, who's jealous of who, because to me it's ridiculous. It's not something I want to be a part of. But I don't like this idea of, okay, this is mine, or I came first, or something like that. I've heard different tactics um, to push away or move away from the label of cis, and that's calling it a slur, or, you know, this idea that, but it's new. It's no one knows that. It's not. Y'all are putting this on us, and okay, let's pretend it was new. What? Language evolves, just like science evolves. Life evolves, like everything in life evolves. What if it were new? What does that do? Like, how does that justify your resistance? Like this, you only describing your resistance to change, and you're not telling me anything substantive regarding whether or not it's valid to have new concepts or not, right? It's just, okay, and then what? What about it? Um, but really, like the real dishonest part about that anyway is that what they mean to say is it's new to me. And if it's new to me, it's new, period, right? If I didn't know about it, then it didn't exist. I absolutely hate it when people want to limit the world to their limited understanding of it. And with the example I just gave, it's really that. It's people not, and I'm sorry, I mean people being ignorant, people not knowing much, and being okay with being ignorant, but also wanting the whole world to be limited to their own ignorance. That's weird and messed up. I don't know why they think it's justified, or it makes sense, or if it's just, I mean, they don't really care, and it's just a tactic just deploy, and it's not like anything. They don't even really believe that either. I don't know. I don't really know, but that's something that's very common. About this concept of cis as a slur, I, I mean that is certainly coming from the man, from the cishet man, sissy. I mean, it's so dumb. It is so dumb. Um, I think a lot of them, not a lot of them, let me not say that, let me not generalize. The few people that I've seen, sorry, or that I've heard say something, like see this as something that takes away from their masculinity are just dumb men, really dumb ones, who either believe, who can't spell and think that it's the same as cis, SIS, or somehow think that it will, that just mentioning something that is not quote unquote the norm is already taking away something of their masculinity. It's ridiculous. Like, just adding a prefix or a qualifier to their manhood sort of diminishes their manhood already. It makes no sense. I mean, to people with sense, but to them, I mean, it seems to make all the sense in the world. I am concerned. I'm concerned for these people. No, I'm not. I actually don't. Yeah, I don't care. I don't really care. Because they also tend to be quite monstrous when it comes to our safety. So, yeah, I'm not feeling bad for them. And you know that the people who say that are also the ones who call women females. Yeah, we're not feeling bad for them. We're not. We're feeling bad for the women around them. We're feeling bad for the queer folks around them. But we're not really feeling bad for them. I mean, I'm gonna speak for myself. I don't. One big argument, and big as in, you know, that I've heard often. One big argument that I've heard for people who don't want to be called cis is, you know, well, y'all are asking us to respect your pronouns, and y'all are asking us to call you women or men, and we do that. Now we ask you the same respect and don't call us cis. Mm? What? Like, it's the false equivalency for me, and there's a couple things there. It's not as if we had chose, like we as trans people had chosen to label others something. So we don't need to pretend that it's the same as genders. And again, it's not something that was chosen by the trans community. It's just science. I mean, we don't have a say in that. We have no say. That's one thing. But also, well, often what's implied in this is, see, I play with you in your little fantasy. I pretend that you're a woman. I pretend that you're a man. I pretend, I play, you know, we play that little game. And I can play with you, so give me that same respect, quote unquote respect, that word. Give me that same respect and don't call me cis. Just keep me at my place at the top, at least on top of you, like above you. Keep me there and recognize that I am a woman or that I am a man, period. That's what's implied, often implied. And it's not just implied, it's often said quite plainly. People do tell you, yeah, we let you have it. Now let us, right? They do also say it sometimes. That's when you know that there's this well, you know that's transphobia, right? But it's, you know that their quote unquote acceptance or respect, or however they want to coin whatever they're practicing with us, um, that it's just at the surface, but below, the transphobia is just festering. It's just disgusting, and it's a lot of stuff going on under there. But you know what? I'm gonna be here all night if I keep talking, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna go myself. And just one little thing, one little extra thing before I go. I actually just took a little break, and I went to Instagram. So I saw a Instagram reel by Caden X Official, and he was like a few minutes ago, like he was saying, yeah, now it's okay for trans people to just call themselves men and women because cis people are rejecting the label of cis. So now it's okay. Now if we say we're women, if we say we're men, oh no, it's not tricking anymore. It's not lying. It's not being deceitful, because they don't want a label. So now labels are not necessary. it's it's really giving whiteness. Like cisness is giving whiteness. It the dynamic, like the power thing, the power dynamic is similar. And it's especially disturbing when it comes from Black people who are suffering under white supremacy and racism. Like y'all should understand the mechanisms. Why are you repeating them? It's frustrating. But hey, anyway, shout out to Kaylin. That was fun, especially like while I was taking that break. Yeah, I'm gonna go because I need to rest. But before I do, I'm gonna ask you, please, share this podcast. Um, Share it with your friends. Let people know. That's the best way, like the easiest and the free way to support this show. And if you have some extra coin, then that's Patreon. That's regular. That's support on the regular. But you can also make a donation by going to the website, and that's ftnpod.com. And you'll see all the links there too. So at the top, you'll have the donate button and the Patreon button. And at the bottom, you'll see all the socials. So join me on Instagram, join me on Twitter. That's where I'm trying to be active. But I also want to hear from you, right? I also want to see some comments. I want to, I want you to send me some questions. You can do that, on all the DMs things of the socials, right? But you can also email me at contact@ftnpod.com. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.